The opinions expressed on Teachavision are solely those of the guests and hosts and do not represent other companies or third parties. Thank you for listening.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another bonus of Teachavision, where everyone has a different vision of learning. And today we're going to revisit an old topic, but this time with updated technology, updated everything. It's going to be great. But to do that, I'm going to bring in a couple of my friends. Y'all guys have heard them before from the convention days a couple of years ago now almost. I will first introduce Edgar. How you doing, man?
Hey, Jose. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me. Looking forward to covering some of these gift ideas today.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, and I appreciate you doing this. We did this a long time ago when we had the radio station. So I was like, you know what? We should just bring this back in that format. So here we are. But we're not alone, though. We are not alone. We have our good buddy that we also heard on the convention bonus. We have Ahmed Albahar. How you doing, man? Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for the invitation, and I'm really happy to be here. And let's do this.
All righty. So, as Edgar pointed out, today we're going to go over another list of Christmas gifts. So this is what I like to call the 2025 Christmas gift guide. Of course, you know that on our website we have a Christmas gift guide, and it is actually pretty up to date, but there has been a lot of technology since 2022 that we need to go over. And there are more things to look over, and we're going to have more talk about it. Now, before we continue, I just want to say that originally this was going to be set into parts. Unfortunately, though, a couple of personal circumstances have made me realize we're going to just need to do the whole file. Now, for those that listen to the whole file, hey, I am proud of you and you're a loyal listener. But for those that do want to jump to a specific category on the gift list in regards to $100 and up, etc., pull up the chapters and locate the appropriate section if you want to listen to it. And that is the easiest way I recommend listening to this ultimate gift guide. All right, guys. So we're going to start off with just the smaller stocking stuffers.
Things that are a little less than $100.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're going to divide it into different categories. We're going to go from the stocking stuffers to the kind of middle of the road to the I love you very much and I'm probably going to spend the rest of my life with you kind of gifts. So we'll get there. But we'll start off with the stocking stuffers here, gift cards. You know, gift cards have become a lot more accessible compared to like the early 2013s, 2014s. Because how many of you guys remember when we got the first iOS device? We actually had to go and buy the iTunes
physical
gift card.
Yes, and then you had to scan it in and line it up with your camera. Yeah.
Or scratch it and have someone do the code for you.
Yes.
Yeah. I was just like, oh, man, how does that... It was not fun. But now anyone can go to any store now electronically, whether it's Apple, whether it's Google Play for, Google Play credits, whether it's Starbucks. I know I've heard of people that have gotten Starbucks gift cards. Or
even Amazon.
Yeah, or Amazon.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Amazon. And all of them are pretty accessible. So, man, one of you guys tell us, what is the process nowadays of how accessible these cards are compared to the 2010s?
Well, it's definitely more accessible. I think the process is now you go to the website and they usually have a gift card link somewhere in the navigation. Click on it. And then you specify the amount, and then you maybe write a message, a little gift message to the person you're sending it to. And then you enter their email address. And most of the time, they just forward the gift card to the person so that they can redeem through their email.
And you can schedule the date too. For example, instead of forwarding the email on the same day, you can choose a specific date. And, for example, you can have the card forwarded to them on Christmas.
Because a lot of people ask, well, what, and it's funny that, we guys are talking about this at work recently at my workplace. I was actually asked, what kind of gift could you give a blind person? Well, here you go. If you're not sure of what to give them, if you're not sure what to give them, a gift card you can never go wrong with. Always remember
and
that.
if you have visually impaired loved ones who happen to live on their own or like to travel, They also have this service called Ira. I believe Jose has spoken about them in the past. But you can buy gift cards for Ira minutes so that your loved ones can use Ira whenever they're at airports or traveling in their Ubers or at hotels. And you can get some visual assistance through the Ira service.
But yeah, you can definitely get Ira gift cards. And
You can get even Uber gift cards too.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, Uber gift cards. Yeah.
And it'll work with both Uber and Eats. So.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You can definitely, it's a universal thing.
And another good strategy, just Google the name of the company and gift card. So like Walmart gift card, Target gift card, and that might take you straight to the web page where you can purchase them directly.
Yeah. And literally, I don't know of any store that does not have gift cards.
Yeah.
I can't think of any. Unless you're like a mom and pop shop, you can never go wrong with it. Even movie theaters have gift cards.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes, we still go to the movies. Okay. So we sound older and we really are, it's really not fun. All right. So we got the gift cards, man. I don't know about you guys, but some of us love audio. We love music. What can we get that is under $100?
Well, there's this item that I found not too long ago. It's called the JBL Go 3 portable speaker. And this is a neat little device because it's just a basic speaker. It's probably, I want to say, in the shape of a deck of cards. If you've held a deck of cards in your hand, it's about that size, but it emits some pretty decent sound. It has some nice little bass. It's not the best quality because, of course, you get what you pay for. It's about a $30 speaker, and you can basically Bluetooth to it with your phone or connect it through, I think it also has a wire line in for you to be able to plug it into your phone.
The auxiliary.
Phone's 3.5 millimeter jack. And yeah, you can stream anything to it if you want to have louder audio than your regular phone speaker. And it's just a fun little device. I have one here at home on my kitchen table, and we just listen to it while we're eating dinner or something, or just wanting to listen to music or something.
It's definitely also good for like travel. If you're ever like, in a hotel and you don't want to, bust out the big speakers, you can take some tinier.
Exactly.
And just,
you can definitely stuff that in your backpack or in your suitcase really quickly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely really nice to do. And of course, we were not saying anything bad against the earbuds, but honestly, nowadays, guys, Bluetooth speakers have gotten so relevant. Again, we're comparing this back to from the teen years, from the 2013, 2014, when you really didn't hear much about Bluetooth speakers.
That's true.
Yeah.
We got the audio, but also, if you want to get a little bit more creative, talking about audio, I personally, because I do podcasting, of course. Now, I didn't know if you guys knew that, but I'm a podcaster now. So, but I do podcasting. And one thing I need, or I would love to do, is record. And of course, we know that recorders for these kind of things are really, or were really not that accessible until last year. Yep. And so, Edgar, man, tell me a little bit about what you found here, man. What do we have here in the accessible recorder sector? And
so, yeah, I'm sure, Jose, that your audience has probably heard of the Zoom recorder line of products. And we'll probably mention them in the later price points when we get to the higher price items. But the lower end device that we have for under $100, or just about $100 actually, is the Zoom H1 Essential. And it now comes with text-to-speech, so a visually impaired person can use it right out of the box. And it has all your essential features that you can use to record audio.
Literally essential.
Yeah, essential, yeah. It's in the name, essential. It also records, it's a technical term, but it's 32-bit float. If your loved one happens to be an audio person, they probably know what that is, which is really something good to have in a recorder. And gain, and it has a lot of the basic features of a recorder, and it's one of the lower end devices from the Zoom Essential line of products.
Oh yeah, and the cool thing too, man, that we got to mention is that the difference on these two is literally when Edgar says it's accessibility out of the box, it is literally out of the box, because when you turn it on, like when you turn the recorder on after you put in batteries, it will literally start talking to you, which is I actually got to give Zoom credit for this because it kind of shows the sighted people what we feel like when we turn on devices and they don't talk. Now it's backwards. They have to turn off the talking part and
Yes,
do
they
that.
do.
So take down sighted people. No. Well. So yeah, that's the Zoom H1 Essential. And, since we're talking about kind of more advanced technology accessibility, one thing I really enjoy that I actually had at one point, and Edgar now has this device, is a device that you can pair to your iPhone, to make it work without you having to use a touchscreen. You can use a keyboard with it. So, man, again, tell me a little bit about what you got over there.
The device that Jose is talking about is the Orbit Writer, and it's a neat little device. It's basically in the shape of a small, I would say maybe a small iPhone, but it's essentially a keyboard for your phone. But it's a Braille entry keyboard. So it's a Perkins style keyboard. It has your 6 dots and the space bar, as you've seen on some other Braille displays that you might have used in the past. It's a nice little device that you can use to navigate your phone screens, or if you want to type in your text messages or send emails with it on your phone. And again, this is a device that will pair to your phone through Bluetooth. So it's not a standalone device. You do have to have a phone with it. But it's a really nice and cheap way to connect a keyboard type of device to your phone without breaking the bank.
And that is the Orbit Writer from Orbit Research. You guys have heard us talk about Orbit Research on previous episodes.
One more thing. A lot of people have a problem with Braille scanner input. So I think this will solve this issue for them at least. Instead of them having to type in with BSI, this keyboard will help them a lot, of course.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely. But yeah, this is from Orbit Research, $100 as well. But, we talked about all this tech items, but we also have low tech mentions for people. Again, this is for, $100 for all this, but this is way less than $100. If you have a blind artsy person, but you also can't afford to buy supplies that are expensive, you can always buy them. And Edgar and I have said this before, the old reliable, the Wiki Sticks, because you can never go wrong with that.
Good fond memories of being in elementary school and using those to kind of make outlines of pictures or things that you just want to draw, on pieces of paper or something.
For sure. Oh, also puff paint. That's another thing that you can use as well.
Yep.
Oh, good old puff paint. And you know what the funny thing is, guys? I actually found Wiki Sticks at Walmart recently. I didn't buy any.
That's nice.
But yes, you can buy them at Walmart. So that was actually pretty impressive. Hey, Walmart, sponsor me here. We just gave a little ad here. There are blind people that don't like high-tech items, but don't worry, guys. We have something that is available for all ages that costs less and is enjoyable for everyone. To explain this, a word from our sponsor.
Hi, this is Maureen from InsightAble Puzzles. Puzzles designed with the blind in mind. Raised lines, shapes, textures, and sometimes Braille can be used as clues to piece together a tactile jigsaw puzzle, born of your patience and persistence. Whether you're a new or a seasoned puzzler, there is a puzzle that's just right for you. Explore my website, InsightAblePuzzles.com. That's INSIGHT Able. And discover the fun of completing a puzzle by touch alone.
And there we go, guys. InsightAble Puzzles. And actually, Maureen has come out with some new ones. She's got a Christmas holiday-themed puzzle kit. And she's also got a Hanukkah, if you celebrate that, a holiday puzzle kit for that as well. And we all three got to go see these puzzles back at Orlando a couple of years ago. If you guys remember those.
And I'm excited about these puzzles because I might order one for myself because I haven't seen one since we visited the NFB convention last year.
These puzzles are pretty cool. And of course, get the emoji puzzle. That is a collaboration between Screenless Allies and InsightAble. So go grab an emoji puzzle kit that has 4 emoticons. Also, she's got cube puzzles. So if you want to mess with cubes instead of flat net figures, as I like to call them, then grab a cube-shaped puzzle. This is actually pretty interesting. I have one, and I was able to put it together after like 3 hours of working with it. Shout out to Maureen. If she's listening to this podcast, on behalf of all three of us. So shout out to her. And if you want to know more information, as we said, InsightAblePuzzles.com.
Want honest, non-influenced reviews over assistive and mainstream technology from a blind person's perspective? Check out the Attackability reviews on our website.
All right, so that was $100. Now we're going to move up. We're going to move up a level, kind of go more in the middle, and we're going to talk a little bit more about, more higher tech items. We'll start off with Bluetooth speakers again. We're going to go back to audio stuff. So, All right, Ahmed, you need to talk a little more, man. So tell me a little bit about what you can get for $200 or a little bit more in Bluetooth speakers.
So you have a bunch of options that you can choose from let's say Bose, from JBL, and if you want to splurge up a little bit more, you can go with my favorite, which is Sonos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If you want to go for something that lasts you a little bit more, and if you're a tech geek and loves dealing with tech, I suggest you go with Sonos because they're not just used as Bluetooth speakers. You can also use them to AirPlay stuff around the house. And if you're a rich person, you can get a bunch of them, connect them together, and create your own, what do you call it, speaker environment?
Yep.
I'd say. And Edgar can talk more about that too.
The cool thing about these companies that make speakers is that they have a product for everybody. They have, your cheaper products like Sonos. They have what is called the Era 100 series. And that's probably your lower end speakers. And then you have Era 300. Yeah. So, but yeah, you can certainly, and one of the things that I would recommend too is if you sort of start buying product from one of these companies, you might as well stick to that company and buying additional speakers so that you can, like Ahmed was saying, you can make a audio system that you can play throughout your home, and you can start connecting them, and you can put multiple in each room. You can do quite a few cool things with it, and especially with Sonos.
Man, now with Sonos, can you, let's say in one room, someone's playing music on one speaker, but then someone else doesn't want to hear that music and they want to go hear something else. Can they play other music in another speaker in another room, if that makes any sense?
Oh, yeah, you can definitely do that. Yeah.
And of course, everyone can control each speaker individually, I'm guessing, in a group too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, I'm just trying to imagine, can you just guys imagine just like staying over like at someone's house and at Sonos, and like in the middle of the night you're sleeping and then all you hear is and you're like, you wake up and you're like, what the heck is going on? Oh, it's a Sonos. Wait, but I don't have any phone going on. And then, like, from the other room, you hear someone going, I played with it. I'm freaking making him scared, man. I would have beat him up. I'll just tell you that right now. So that's pretty cool. Now, guys, there is something important I need to ask you guys. Is the app accessible? Now, the reason I'm asking is because at one point there was a little controversy going on there.
Yeah.
Yep. With Sonos and even sighted people, by the way, were complaining about this. Well, not complaining, I guess I should say. They were voicing their concerns because the app did get an overhaul interface and they got pushed back. And even the CEO was like, okay, we should have not gone that far quite yet. We kind of messed up a little bit. So we're working on it. Please bear with us. So that was 2 years ago, man? 3 years ago now? 2 years ago?
Yeah, about 2 years ago, I would say.
Okay,
yeah.
How is it now, man, compared to back then?
I think it's important that Sonos has finally recognized their mistake that they made, especially because, unfortunately, it was a little unfortunate that they forgot about accessibility for the visually impaired community, especially. And so they have been working on the app, and it looks to be more accessible now, and everything seems to be working as a lot of us blind people have come to expect. And everything works pretty accessibly now.
Perfect. So that does work with iOS and Android. So you can use that. Same with the JBL apps. They do work with iOS and Android, and they're pretty accessible as well. I have, for that kind of speaker, I have a JBL Extreme, and it is really cool. It's pretty big, but it's worth it. It's got pretty good sound. And when I got it, it was like $300. So it was actually really cool to have that. And I still have it to this day. I do take it to the hotel, but I might need to get me a tinier one because it does bust out good sound on those speakers as well. Not discrediting Sonos because, of course, everyone has their own sound, but, you know, JBL's got that big bass. And if you like bass-rich stuff, JBL's where to go. Sonos kind of blends it all in together and tries to make it more pronounced. But at the end of the day, it is definitely up to you what you want to get. And
yeah, it's up to you. And honestly, yeah, there's a lot of variables. Like if you want a speaker that you want to fit in your luggage, or if you want a speaker that emits really good bassy sound, or if you just want a speaker to put on your kitchen table, for example, or it just depends on what you need. And the good news is that a lot of these companies, they have really good support, and you can mix and match if you want. You can't go wrong. You just have to kind of do a little bit of research beforehand, but definitely, if you want a starter speaker, like we mentioned earlier, that $30 JBL Go 3 is a perfect little speaker just for simple things and music and things.
Exactly. And no matter what speaker you get, you don't need to worry about it talking because honestly, all the speakers that I've heard have some sort of sound indication when they're turned on and when they're being paired. Really, I've never heard a speaker that does not have this kind of ability in it. So that's really nice that they have that going on there with Bluetooth speakers. So, and same with headphones. All those companies as well that we mentioned also have headphones. JBL has their own headphones. Sonos has their own headphones.
Yep.
And I believe, and of course, the Apple AirPods.
Oh, yeah.
The Pro 3. Edgar, you have a pair of headphones, right, man?
Yes. I have the Pro 2s. I haven't purchased the Pro 3s yet, but a lot of good features are in these really small form-fitting headphones. You can fit them in your pocket. They're really small. They're more of earbuds than headphones.
Right.
But they're really nice little devices to listen to music with, podcasts. You can definitely make a lot of changes to them. They have noise cancellation. And some of the newer features that come with the AirPod Pros especially is live translation, which is a really cool little feature that came out this year.
Oh, yeah. Live translation, which is really nice. And I believe also they have made it to where you can also make noises louder. So like a hearing aid in a way.
Yeah.
They have a hearing aid feature. Of course, definitely check compatibility with your hearing aid if you are working with those as well, because they're not intended to replace an actual hearing aid. Just so you guys know. So yeah, they have that. And of course you have, the regular AirPods as well. So I mean, you really have, Bose also has headphones. So you really can't go wrong with either speakers, headphones, earbuds. Oh, man, one other brand that we forgot to mention. If you want kind of more sophisticated headphones that will not block your hearing, we have the Shocks series of headphones.
Oh, yeah. Those are good ones.
So what makes these different?
For me, at least, because I suffer from tinnitus and I can't use headphones, so I depend on them a lot. And the way that they're placed and you use them, so basically you don't place them inside your ear, but at the outside of your ear, you'll be able to hear what's around you at the same time, and you'd be able to hear whatever you want to hear in the headphones themselves, like podcast music. And they don't hurt your ears at all if you use them for a long time. In my opinion, I use them a lot during my travels, especially on the airplane. They help me a lot because, as I said, I can't use headphones. So at least these are better, in my opinion, for people who suffer from tinnitus, or for people who want to work out. If they want to walk outside or go running, or, for example, they're in a gym and they want to hear what's around them.
Which is really
cool. I think they are sweat resistant, right?
Yeah, so they have different versions. One of them is sweat resistance, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, again, they go up in prices. They even have earbuds now, too. So not just headphones, like where that go behind your neck. They also now have earbuds, too. So this is actually pretty interesting. Guys, sometimes though, since we're talking about headphones and listening to music, sometimes, it's all great that we have all these phones and all and high tech, but sometimes we just need an MP3 player or something to read books with that doesn't require, high tech or that won't mess up your phone's battery. What do we have here for those people that want to use an MP3 player of some sort or something that's standalone compared to an iPhone or an Android phone?
So these devices that I'm about to mention are certainly advertised towards blind people, but I think anybody can use them. They're very good for playing books and playing your music, playing all kinds of media, really. And these are called the Daisy play. Well, I think they're commonly called the Daisy players.
Yeah, digital talking book players.
There you go. They're commonly called digital talking book players. There are 3 competing ones, especially advertised towards more of the visually impaired community, and there are 3 main ones. The first one, and this is on the lower tier of pricing, is about $300 for the Orbit Player digital talking book player. This is a device that just came out this year, and it's aimed for the market who wants a cheaper player that has a lot of those same features as some of the other ones that we'll mention, but it's basically dedicated to some very essential features, including playing books, including Daisy books, text files, Microsoft Word documents. You can essentially play them back through text-to-speech voices built into the player. And it also comes with internet radio if you want to listen to some online radio stations or podcasts. And it has a built-in calendar. It has a few essential features. And then going up from that, from $300, is your Victor Reader Stream. And these cost you about $600, I believe.
Yes,
they run you about $600
with tax
at the
and
moment.
shipping and handling and convenience fees and inconvenience fees and
But the Victor Reader Stream is a well-known product in the blindness community, and they are known for their ease of use and their convenience. They're very straightforward. You can find a lot of the functions through using a lot of the numbers on the number pad. So a lot of these devices almost feel like your typical phones, old style phones. They have a number pad, they have arrow keys, they have enter key. And so a lot of these will look the same, but the functionality might be slightly different. And I think the reason why the Victor Reader Stream is a little more priced is because it has more formats that it can play. It has probably more support for podcasts, better support for online radio, that kind of things.
Too.
Yeah. And then your most expensive digital talking book player that you will find in the market right now, for at least advertised towards the visually impaired community, is the, what is it called?
Sense Player.
Sense Player, yeah. It's called the Sense Player. And this is a pretty versatile device because it has a lot of features. And one of the features, and I think most units sell it this way, I think there's a cheaper version of it, but the version that most people will find and will buy is a version that has OCR capabilities. So it has a camera on the back. You can scan documents and read them with this device, in addition to the already mentioned features like playing back books and listening to podcasts and listening to online radio. And I think another selling point for this more expensive one is that it has some apps you can download, sort of like Android apps. They're third-party apps, and so you don't have to use their built-in apps all the time. You can go out into the App Store and download a bunch of apps like Audible and Bard. So that's kind of the selling point for that one. But a lot of these are very similar. It just depends on what you want. And if you want a cheaper one, obviously you want to go with the Orbit Player. But if you want all the features you could possibly want, you probably want the Sense Player.
Now, I do want to make a correction, man. So on the Sense Player, keep in mind that the apps are curated by Selvas. So you can't just go, there is not an app store per se that you can go to. There's an actual, I believe they call it just apps. And they have kind of their own little server with files to accessible apps. So you can't just go in and download MySpace or anything like that. You have to.
Well, actually, so a slight correction to your correction, man. So you can actually, if you are technical enough, and not everybody will be.
Oh,
but
we're gonna go
if
here.
You are,
okay, I see what you're.
Yes, you can download apps yourself through the internet by connecting your device, your Sense Player, to the computer. And again, this is a more technical path, but you can technically download any app. Now, I will say Selvas does not endorse this, and they do state that a lot of the apps that you might download on your own might not be compatible with the player, but there is that option. You can always try that on your own if that's what you want to do or you want to experiment with.
So do you guys have any of these players?
I have all three.
No, I don't. So I'll leave the floor to Edgar here.
Yeah. So as a user myself of these products, I don't know if I have a favorite right now. I think at the moment, I just grab whichever one is closest to me, and I can connect to all the services and read my books or listen to online radio.
There you
Which
go.
one do you grab the most?
Well, let's see. Right now, to my right
Which
on my
player?
desk here, I have the Orbit player. And sometimes I'll use it while I'm just doing something on the computer to listen to an online radio station or a podcast or something.
Hopefully it's ours, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely subscribed to your podcast.
That's right. You better. No, no. Yeah, you can subscribe to, you can subscribe to our podcast through those players. So just search Teachavision, all one word, and it should come up. So that's definitely pretty cool, guys, that you have all these players. Yeah, a lot of options out there from cheap to pretty expensive there. But at the end of the day, it's what you are looking for and it's what you're searching for in feature and functionality. But all of them have the same thing. I like to call this the blind Kindle on steroids for these players.
And that's another thing. Another product that Jose just mentioned is the Kindle. And the Kindle does have accessibility features built into it now. So you can use text to speech. It has a voice view, which is Amazon's screen reader. So if you wanted to buy a Kindle for your loved one and you don't want to spend as much for some of these alternative players, that's definitely a route to go. Just make sure to do your research. Again, maybe Google how to activate the voice view screen reader. And I'm sure a lot of your loved ones that happen to be blind can appreciate the Kindle.
Oh, for sure. Again, this is just great tech. Again, this I'm going to keep saying this. We definitely have evolved ever since we last checked in with you guys on gifts, as you can tell. For the low-tech artsy, we got another device that came out a couple of years ago, and it is called the Braille Doodle. For more information on that, go check out the bonus where we all four, because I noticed that there is one person missing. Well, anyway, on that podcast, we talked about the Braille Doodle. She talked about what it was, but I'm going to give you a more condensed version. This device is think of it as they call it an Etch-a-Sketch, was how it was described to us. And it has a special magnetic stylus that when you draw on it, beads come up from inside the device. So there are holes, and there are magnetic beads inside these holes. And when you draw, they pop up as if it was Braille. On the front, you can have a little canvas for pictures. And on the back, you can practice your Braille alphabet on little full cells that they got.
Yeah, and I think this product is especially very fun for kids or adults who are just learning Braille, or just anybody who likes drawing or artsy kinds of things.
Oh, yeah. That is the Braille Doodle. So are there anything else that we missed, guys, on this one before we move on to the I Love You Forever items here?
No, I think we're good.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, the BlindShell.
We got two things. We got a couple of things. Number one, the BlindShell. So, we're talking about things with buttons and keypads For those that do not want to touch a touch screen, no pun intended here, you can get an accessible alternative, which is called the BlindShell. In this case, we're calling it the BlindShell Classic 3, which actually is a hybrid now, guys. It has a touch screen and a keypad. The touchscreen is designed to be used with third-party apps, but if you're not comfortable with that, then you have nothing to worry about because all the functions are still there for the number pad. So, honestly, this phone is targeted for people like seniors that are not able to use a touchscreen that well. And honestly, I agree, but also I know there are people that are our age that maybe have lost their vision very recently and can't, adapt to a touchscreen quite yet. So they need something still that might have that feel to it. So the BlindShell is a pretty good one to carry.
And it's a little bit of an investment, but I think it's one essential device that, again, if you have seniors in your life or people who might not be so technical and happen to be visually impaired, I think this would be a perfect product for them.
And that right now is about $550. I'm sure the price will go up, unfortunately, but it is definitely worth it to get. And this works with T-Mobile and those sub-carriers as well. So again, see the BlindShell website and it'll tell you all you need to know about the phone. And since we're talking about blindness, there is one device that's actually mainstream. And Ahmed, you and Edgar definitely have a pair of these. And I got to see one. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to come out with next for these things. So for people that are looking for something that might OCR stuff for you on pieces of paper, or that will be kind of a visual aid for the blind that is wearable, look no further than the Meta glasses. One of you guys tell us a little bit more about these Meta glasses.
So they actually came out with two newer versions, the Meta Ray-Bans 3rd edition, I believe, and that one's with its display, the second generation, the one me and Edgar has. They fluctuate in terms of prices, so it depends on the shape that you want. So they have different shapes. They have the Skylar Gray, which is the highest one, and the lowest one, I believe, comes with the polarized lenses, if I'm not mistaken. What they do is that you can use them because they have an AI model integrated with them. The AI model is from Meta themselves, and you can use them to recognize images, for example, or recognize stuff in front of you. So, for example, you could ask it to look and recognize what's in front of you, and it'll take a picture and tell you what you're looking at. And they've added a new setting a few months ago called detailed descriptions, which is focused more on people who are visually impaired. And what it does is that it will give you a detailed description of what it scanned. Furthermore, you can take pictures with them. You can take videos with them. You can integrate them with WhatsApp to take calls or even get on a video call with someone. Of course, they have an integration with Be My Eyes too, so you can use them to call a volunteer on there. They have a bunch of features. And of course, you can listen to music on them or podcasts. So you can use them as a pair of headphones, but, well, they're glasses with external speakers. So not as headphones, but because sound does leak out and people could hear what you're listening to. So you might want to be careful depending on where you are and what you're listening to. But at least this is a gist of the features that it has.
Wow. Oh, yeah. These are very useful glasses. I think a lot of people have been buying them recently for those purposes, to get things described to them or use some of the built-in apps, I guess, for lack of a better term, apps like Be My Eyes, to get some visual assistance when they're traveling too.
They recently developed, and this is kind of more technical, so if you don't like this, you can skip over. But they recently released a software development kit, which means that blindness companies are going to be able to take advantage and be able to perform more advanced OCR stuff, more advanced orientation and mobility stuff, which would be pretty nifty. So we will see where this goes. So yeah, Meta glasses. I don't have some of those, but I do need to get me some of those. Might be enough more updated ones.
If you need help with how to use a feature or troubleshooting the current Braille display line from the company Humanware, check out the Brailliant section on our website, where you will find articles that are easy to understand and to the point.
All right, guys, we have made it. We made it to the I love you so much, I'm marrying you, and I'm going to be with you for the rest of my life technology segment here. Now, this one we should not be as long as these other two, because honestly, if you're getting here, then again, you definitely know what you're doing. And so here we go. First thing, we can talk about iPhones or Android devices. Depending on what you're looking for, you can never go wrong with an iPhone or Android device. Both of them have accessibility built into them. You can enable it with VoiceOver on iOS or iPadOS by triple-clicking the side button. I was going to say triple-click home, but I totally realized that we don't have any more home button phones anymore.
No, we don't. No.
See, back in my day, back when we were kids and teenagers, we used to have the home button. Man, I remember those good old days when we didn't have any of the Face ID stuff. Man. And now we have Face ID. And now we have things like the iPhone Air. Man, have y'all seen the iPhone Air yet?
No, yep. I haven't.
I mean, you've seen it, man?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us, what do you think of it?
So it's, as the description says, it's a very thin iPhone. And one thing that blind people won't like about it, to be honest, is that it has one speaker, which is the speaker on the top. So the bottom speaker is not included. So sound-wise, I won't say it's that good. It lacks bass, and it sounds a little bit tinny, I would say. In terms of battery-wise, I've read that the battery gets depleted really quickly. And Apple, from what I've read, at least a few weeks ago, they slowed down production of the iPhone Air. So I'm not sure what they're going to do with them, or if they're going to release a better newer version soon enough. Who knows?
This would be the alternative, I feel like, to what they would have, like the SE series, which was back then in the day, and also the E series that came out with, or the minis, back in the iPhone mini days, if you guys remember those. So,
and I think it's also good to note that with these iPhones, including the iPhone Air, is there are also a wide range of pricing for these devices. But I think generally, if you want a device that'll last you longer, following the rule of more expensive will last you longer is good to keep in mind. Although iPhones, I feel, have a really good lifespan anyway, even if they're on the cheaper side. So, you have your iPhone Air, like Ahmed was just talking about, your iPhone 17s, your iPhone 16e. There's so many models. It might get confusing, but certainly if you have a loved one that wants an iPhone or an Android device, maybe go in store, feel the devices for yourself, and ask questions.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll find a budget phone or a more expensive phone that you can splurge on a little bit.
And again, remember, these all have accessibility on them. So again, for iOS devices, it's the triple clicking the side button. For Android devices, it's holding down the volume keys for a few seconds until TalkBack turns on. So you really can't go wrong because, they're really building accessibility into these technologies now. And it's really awesome. I remember back in the day when I had to actually buy a screen reader for my cell phone. And that was like $200. And
wow,
I only had it for like a year. Yeah. And then they told me that they were discontinuing it. So yeah, I had a Nokia E71 running the Talk screen reader. Yeah, TALKS. And it did its job. And then they said they're discontinuing it. And that's actually how I transitioned over to iPhone, because there was no more Talks anymore. And Edgar was like, man, you need to get an iPhone, man, an iPhone. And so I got an iPhone. And here we are. I cannot go back, honestly. iPhones are good. Different price points. Computers, any kind of computer, whether it's a Windows or Mac computer, also different prices, but they both also have accessibility built right into the system. Man, okay, Edgar, tell about the screen reader we use, man. Yeah, you can use the built-in screen reader on Windows, which is called Narrator. But what if you need a little bit more of an advanced screen reader but can't afford the commercial screen readers?
Yeah, so of course you have a screen reader called NVDA. It stands for Non-Visual Desktop Access, but it's a free screen reader you can download for any computer that you decide to gift your loved one, or if you want to buy a computer for yourself over Christmas, you can definitely go to nvaccess.org and download NVDA. It's a free screen reader. And I mean, there's a lot of training material, so it is a little overwhelming at first if you're a new user to NVDA, but they have an extensive user guide, and it has a lot of the similar commands and that you can find on other screen readers like your JAWS of the world, or what's another Dolphin screen reader, if you've ever used that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's true. If you're giving this to a blind person and you want it to work right away and you can't download NVDA quite yet, you can always press Control Windows and Enter to open Narrator, and it will automatically open for you. And if you're using Apple, it's Command with oh, that's right. They don't have this anymore. Command F5, but that is not a thing anymore. Now it's Command and Touch ID 3 times on the right-hand side of the computer, and that turns on VoiceOver. Or you can tell your Siri to turn on VoiceOver. So
Wait. This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
Me too.
Command F5 is not a thing anymore?
It can be, if you have an external keyboard connected to it. On the Apple website, they actually say that to do VoiceOver, it's Command with the power button 3 times on the Mac on the top right corner. So,
wow, I did not know that.
But Command F5 still is a thing if you have a Braille or an external keyboard connected to it, like the Mantis or the Orbit Reader QWERTY, which is another one that we were going to recommend here. Some of us can't afford the $6 million Braille displays. I believe in Braille. I don't know about you guys, but I believe Braille literacy is very important. So if you want to give your friend who's blind, or if you want to get yourself something that's budget friendly but pretty good quality, and I'm not being sponsored to say this, go check out the Orbit Reader Braille displays. They are pretty good. They have good signage Braille quality on them, and you can get a 20 or a 40 or a QWERTY that has 40 cells on it. And they connect to your screen reader, or they connect to your iOS and Android devices as well. So you have Braille output right there. It may not be the best Braille output because it doesn't make a little noise, but it is a good Braille display that you can use to read. So what do you guys think? Would that be a good gift? Are y'all going to get me for Christmas this year?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think so. And again, you have so many Braille displays out on the market right now. But yes, your Orbit they call them the Orbit Q20 and Orbit Q40 Braille displays are the best.
Yeah. They're $1,000, a little bit more than $1,000, but yeah. I mean, we could talk about the displays that are like $5,000, but we're trying to not hurt your wallet too bad on that one. So, guys, is there anything else that we missed here? Because I think we covered a lot of material here on these gifts.
One more thing I wanted to mention, we forgot to talk about, we were talking about the 200 price gifts, is the Apple TV. In my opinion, if you want to buy a good streaming device for your TV and it's accessible out of the box and you don't have issues with accessibility compared to other devices I've tested, the Apple TV is perfect because it has VoiceOver built in right into it. And you can install all of the different apps that you want to use with it, like Netflix, Prime, Paramount, Peacock, etc. And I would say most of the apps are very, very accessible, and you can, of course, AirPlay stuff from your iPhone into the Apple TV too. So it's a very good gift.
Man, so how do you enable VoiceOver on Apple TV for those that don't know how to do that?
So the way you do it is you can triple click the home button to enable VoiceOver, or you can press that side button to summon Siri and tell her to turn on VoiceOver.
There you go. Yep. Same, by the way, guys, with Apple Watches. That's another thing you can get if you. And again, those are in different price ranges too. Edgar, you have the Apple Watch Ultra, right, man?
No. I have the Series 9.
The Series 9. The Apple Watch is another good one. This is more for your workout nerds. I had an Apple Watch for a while, and then I realized, man, I don't even use that thing at all. So unless you're using walkie-talkie, which is actually a pretty cool little feature of Apple Watch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had to use that at convention a couple of times ourselves. But yeah, the Apple Watch is a good one. And to enable voiceover on that, you triple click the crown, or you can also summon Siri by holding down the crown and tell it to turn on voiceover. But for the workout nerds, the Apple Watch is another good one to have. You can get the regular series or the Ultra 3. Are we at 3 now? Or 2?
Yes.
Okay, the Ultra 3. Okay.
Yes.
You get the Ultra 3 for the most expensive one. You can get the Apple Watch SE for the cheaper one. Or you can get now they call it they do call it the SE, right? Still? The cheaper version?
Yeah, they have the SE, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Can you tell I don't do Apple Watches? But anyway, but there you go, guys. Man, so many gifts. We really hope that you got an idea of what you would like to get somebody who's blind or visually impaired for Christmas this year, because there's a lot.
Yeah, and we realize that a lot of these items are, very high-techy items, but especially if you have kids in your life, visually impaired kids, there's so many blind-friendly products that you can buy. For kids, we spoke about the Braille Doodle. That's a fun one. And there are the wiki sticks. There are like little puff paint things you can buy to raise lines for kids to draw in around.
You also have the puzzles as well. If you want kids to put puzzles together, keep in mind that these puzzles also have Braille on them as well. So it teaches literacy and tactile spatial recognition.
Oh, and another thing we forgot to mention for the younger people is Legos.
Oh, yeah. Even the Braille Legos that are out there now.
Yes, there's a lot of Lego sets now. Yeah, a lot of Lego sets now have Braille instructions, really in-depth instructions on how to assemble a lot of these Lego sets.
Man, I know we're grown men. All right, let me just put that out there before I ask this question, because I'm sure I'm going to get you're too old to be talking about this stuff. But if y'all had a Lego set that you would want to put together, if y'all decided, you know what, I'm going to buy me a Lego set tomorrow, which one would y'all get to try to assemble with Braille instruction material? Or online, because there's also digital versions of this too, by the way.
I don't even know what kind they have nowadays. I would have to look at the list.
I know which ones I'd get, in my opinion. I'd get the throne from Game of Thrones.
Ooh, that's cool.
I'd definitely get that.
I see Edgar already buying it by next week. Hey, man, I got the throne, man.
Yeah.
What are you doing, man? Oh, well, I've just been sitting here, man, trying to put this thing together for the past 5 hours. But yeah, I got See, I want to get the Braille Legos because in case y'all have not seen those, they're really cool. And the person that had them, I don't like them right now because they have them and we didn't have them when we were kids. But anyway, they're Braille Legos, and on each Lego, each spike of the Lego represents a Braille dot combination. And you can put them on a little board, like a regular Lego board that you're used to, and you can make Braille words and letters and numbers. It's really cool. So I would get me a set of those if I decided to get me Legos at one point. One thing real quick, guys. Have y'all seen the Hot Wheels cars that's in Braille?
No, I haven't.
Hot Wheels made a Braille car, and on the back of the car, it has Hot Wheels on it. On one side, it says twin, and on the other side, I can't remember what it says, but it's a Braille Hot Wheels car. They're different colors, but they're considered collector's items. And I actually have 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, they're really cool. I wish I had these again when I was a kid, because I used to collect Hot Wheels cars. Anything that was like the little tiny cars, I used to have a big collection of, with a little racetrack when I was a kid. And so now, I wish I kind of still had my collection, but yeah, a bunch of cars. And there is a Braille Hot Wheels car. You can get that on Amazon. Go search for it on Amazon or Google it, Braille Hot Wheels. And it actually shows it. And it even has the word Hot Wheels on the package too, not just on the car. So cars for kids that you can also like. So apart from that, guys, anything else that we're missing here?
No, I think there's a lot to consider. I know this episode might have been a lot. There's a lot of tech items and just a lot of things that you might want to buy your loved one. But just know, I'm sure whatever you decide to buy for, the visually impaired person in your life. They'll appreciate. They will certainly appreciate it.
Remember, guys, it's not the gift that's important. It is the how did I say this, man? It's not the gift that counts.
The gift.
It is a gesture.
The love that you give.
It's the love that we give. And this is where my friend Darcy would go, that's BS. Shout out to Darcy, who was on the last bonus last year. That was a Christmas episode. If you remember her, she was, that was the one I started that with back in the day. So yeah, at the end of the day, guys, what counts is the gesture of the gift. So we really hope that you have gotten insight from this episode. I know it's a long one, but I figured we'd make up for it because we're going to be on hold for a little bit because there are some surprises coming for ScreenlessAllies.com next year. Please stay tuned. We're getting close. We're all pumped for it, honestly. So it'll be great. So Edgar, Ahmed, man, thank you guys for being here with me. I know it's been a long episode. I appreciate you guys doing this with me. It has been a lot of fun to have you guys here.
It was nice to be here. Thanks for inviting us, Jose.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And all we got to say real quick is we hope that you have a Merry Christmas. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, then happy holidays.
Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everybody.
Yeah, and eat a lot of food. It's that time of year where you forget all about diets and eat a bunch of food.
Oh, yeah.
Like Edgar said on the last show, I really think that the best food is tamales. And, but no, in all seriousness, definitely, guys, eat a lot of food. Be careful out there. Forget a little bit about about the things that are going on in the world and just enjoy time with your friends and family. Merry Christmas, guys. And also, Happy New Year.